Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Stage Debate Podcast with Isaac. Today we go a bit off script. Very, very exciting conversation coming up right now between two of the candidates that are running for secretary, AAHOA secretary, each pleading their case and what they're going to go ahead and bring to the table. MZ has been in the game for a long, long time. He's done tremendous things. Dhiren really pushing for that young blood change, really taking that diamond in the rough and pushing AAHOA to the next level. Tune in to this fabulous upcoming conversation. Very, very excited. Thank you so much to our corporate sponsor, Michael Stern of Line Star Tax and LSD Consultants. Just tax geniuses, definitely folks you should be talking to. Each and every one of you should be talking to him. And then Himesh Jaram of Amritac Distribution. Himesh is just such a good guy, stand-up guy, providing LG TVs to hotels nationwide. He's been in the space for a while. Just such a pleasure to deal with. Somebody you should definitely be talking to, somebody that could save you a lot of money and make your life a bit easier. So tune in, folks, and this is going to be a good one. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Stage Debate Podcast with Isaac. Today we're going a little bit off script. We have an incredible AAHOA election coming up in 12 short days, I believe. And we have three candidates. Two of them are on today. The third one was invited. It didn't work out. But I'm very, very excited to be hosting you, Dhiren Masters and MZ Patel. MZ, you're based in Philly. I've seen you. I've spoken by your events. I appreciate our friendship. Dhiren, I've heard some unbelievable things about you. And each in your own right, you definitely, if elected, will bring some fabulous things to the table in terms of experience, in terms of lobbying. And I want to give you the opportunity today to talk about your story and to talk about what you can bring to the table, similar to a presidential debate, right? Where you have people on stage talking about, in a respectful way, obviously, what you guys can bring, what you guys can change. MZ, obviously, you've been around for a very, very long time, which gives you experience. Dhiren, you're young, you're energetic. MZ, you're also energetic, but you have visions, and each brings their own twist, their own flavor, and the crowd wants to hear that today. So I'm going to hand over the mic to you guys. I'll interject a little bit. MZ, we're going to start with you. I want to hear your story. I want to hear where it all began. Your journey into the hotel world, your journey into AAHOA, what you've done. And then we'll hand over the mic to Dhiren to talk about his story as well. I'd love to start off that way. So MZ, the mic is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for inviting us. My name is Mahendra MZ Patel. I came in America 1976 when I was 8th grade, and I landed in Newark, New Jersey with my brother. And after that, I finished, I was in high school. My brother bought the small 20-room hotel in Princeton, New Jersey. But we have it, that hotel too. And I grew up at that hotel from my childhood. I learned from E2G. That's actually was the second school. I can learn from hospital, how to run the hotel, how to do the maintenance, how to do housekeeping. E2G I learned from that small hotel. Even I changed the roof that too. There's a lot of things with that memory that the hotel do I have. And we keep that hotel, still we have it. And we're still going to keep that because, that's my first step. The second, after I went engineering school, I was electrical engineering. After done my electrical engineering in state of New Jersey, and I graduate after graduate, I worked for the state of New Jersey, DOT, for 2.5 years. Then after I decided, let me go to build my own hotel. Well, I asked my brother, can we build our own hotel? I could build a brand new hotel. And he said, okay, if you want to do it, let's do it. And that's 20-room hotel, what we bought it, I tear it down, and we built the hotel, brand new hotel. That time was 1988. But the Daisy was so popular, and I built the Daisy in there, and it's a 73-room hotel. And that was the first project ever. After I finished my college, that was the first project. I made so many mistakes. I learned so much from that. But the shape, the look like the hotel, exactly like what we have 20-room hotel, one building is exactly same look like. That's what they did. And also I keep the house where I grew up in back. We still leave the house the way it is there and still is there. That's where my journey start from 1988 with the first hotel. After that, we buying so many hotels. We buy in my portfolio. I bought an 8 hotel. I built myself also. Up to older. I mean, I did build Sheraton. I built Marriott. We had a Marriott hotel. We do have we build like a Holiday Express. We build in different state. I do have hotel in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Indiana, and Phoenix, Arizona. We do have hotel there. And then after that, I was building, and I said that realized so many, why I know that when I was Dhiren age, I was exciting to build hotel, and that was my dream was to make my family better to live life, and that was my dream there, and I did that. Whatever my dream, I have success in my dream. Thanks God to do that, help me out, and I have 4 kids. My 4 kids. One is the oldest one is doctor, second one is a CPA, and the other one is the business major, and my son is also business major. Then my one daughter and my son decided to join with me just 3 years ago, and they were with me now, and they're handling my whole business last 3 years perfectly. They're running that, and that's why reason I do have time to be joined AAHOA and help out our member. And I was growing the hotel business to learn my daughter and my son, and I realized brand coming so many unnecessary charges. And I just started. We decided, my daughter and my son said, let's do our own brand, and that is an MHO hotel born in 2021 at COVID time, and that's so we had another brand I just developed that for to help our members, and just only not to make money on the brand. We just want to help our brothers and sisters. That's the reason we built the brand. Now we're doing like different business also. We do have storage place. We do have car wash. We have multiple other business. We do also have it in our portfolio, but all my daughter and my son handle it. That's reason that you want to know why I want to come to AAHOA. And I think this is the same story you might have too, but I went, I was into serving AAHOA. I mean, Alpha. If you guys remember Alpha, Econo Laws Franchise Association. I was the president of that 2007. What will happen then? That time, if you guys remember, the credit card came mandate for 3 credit card choice came out with that. Okay, we use only 3 credit card. What will happen then? The 3 credit card thing requirement, like Bank of America, you can use certain only 3. And I said, let me go to talk to our big brother, AAHOA's. And I made an appointment with them, with our president. And I went to AAHOA's office to ask them help. The regular member just we had 6, 7 people was there. I went to ask. Our president came there, sit down, and he said, what is your problem? I said, sir, I don't have any problem. I can handle my own problem, but I just came for our member problem. Our member have a very issue about credit card, make mandate credit card. I think their bottom line will be hurt really bad if we don't help them. I begged them. I asked him, can you join with me? You are my older brothers, you guys. Join with us and help us to help all members. He said, okay. 2 minutes later, we had an appointment, and we went different state. 7 people was there in office. 2 minutes later, our president of AAHOA doesn't have time to talk to me. He walked out. He walked out from the door and said, sorry, I cannot. I don't have that much time I have only. He didn't help. He walked out. That's the reason that day I decided, okay, I want to go in AAHOA's board, and I want to know what's happening here. And that's the reason I decided to go to AAHOA board. That was my help my member. That's nothing else, no any my personal agenda. That's because of the walked out. And that's the reason I went there. And I was, this story happened. There was 8 people was with me. This would happen. That's the reason I went AAHOA's board to run the AAHOA. And second thing, why I decided to run secretary, there's also a small story for you guys. Do you remember New Jersey bill, Fair Franchise Bill? Fair Franchise Bill, I started the bill and when Neil Patel was president, he helped me a lot. And Laura Lee, we bring to New Jersey, and we passed the bill. And you know all the story about after that, Marriott, Hilton, IG walked out. The same story, I was continually working our whole board. Dhiren wasn't in my board, and thanks for Dhiren for helping out for the New Jersey bill. Everyone is supporting, anonymous there, everyone supporting. Nobody will say no, not. And the second year will same thing happen, everybody supporting. And suddenly will be dropped out in third year. I asked so many times I said, let's help out, but they couldn't help you. And then I realized that this is the only way this bill can go continuous if I would be officer position. And that's why I decided to run the officer. That they said, let's me go to the officer position to help out our members. And if we cannot help our member, who will help you? That's why I decided. And I do have times, I do have experience, and I have listening skill. I don't argument. I didn't who's know the board. I never argument with anybody. I always listen first. What people are telling me the story. I just want to make sure I hear them properly, because sometimes one side story is not correct too. I hear them, and after hearing the story, I will give my suggestion or my comment to them. That was the reason I started AAHOA, run secretary. I want to run for secretary because of that reason. I want to help member, not my any personal agenda. Nothing is that. This is only my agenda there. And thank you for listening me. And thank you.
Unbelievable, MZ, and it talks to me because you've been in the industry a long time, and you have your own franchise, you own your own hotels, you're a stand-up member of AAHOA in the Northeast over here, obviously in the nation, but you definitely have a name. And if I was in your shoes, it's very easy to hang up your hat, right? And say, hey, I've been involved for so many years, I've done my part, and it's coming, like you said, and I believe you, from a genuine interest to help, and you feel like there are ways to help another person, another member, and that's where it's coming from, and that's special. Dhiren, you're an amazing stand-up guy as well. The crowd would love to hear from you also. Your story, your hotel story, your AAHOA story, what your vision is. Why are you running for secretary? Obviously, you've got young blood in you. You have a fire under you. You want to change things in a real visionary style way. Give it to us from you. Let's hear from you.
Yeah. So, like you had said, my name is Dhiren Masters. I am from Dallas, Texas. And I always grew up in the business, right? I've done, made the beds, I vacuumed floors, I plunged toilets. I did that growing up, and all that was instilled in me, right? We were instilled to make the business work, to make it successful, because hard work does that. And so that's what I was always born into. I started with our independent hotels, 20, 30 rooms, and then we moved to the franchise, and then now we're doing development as well. And so we started to move forward with that. But at the same time, I also work private equity. I did all the institutional side, understanding what the tactics are for negotiations, right? Learning term sheets, underwriting models, and things like that. Kind of the new wave of kind of understanding the business and seeing if a deal actually works. And so that private equity gave me a lot of exposure, not just with hotels, right, but just in real estate in general. And that was a huge, huge boost. And then 9 years ago, I joined AAHOA as an ambassador, right, under Moyer Patel, who's been a great mentor of mine. And then for the past 6 years, I've been the regional director of the largest region in the association. So that's a huge, huge responsibility for me, and I'm proud to hold that responsibility. We know that hotels today, right, is much different than it was 10, 20 years ago. We know insurance costs has risen. We know that payroll, interest rates, everything on the expense side has gone up. And it feels like the revenue has either stayed stagnant or has even decreased. And so this is where we need an association that is more powerful than ever. And that's one of the reasons why I'm running. And my 6 commitments, like you had said, the first commitment is profitability first. We need our margins to be higher. And how can we do that, right? An idea is ancillary revenue. Why can't we charge parking fees, which is 100% return on investment, right? We're paying property taxes on it. So why can't we just charge a $2 to $5 fee? Nothing about 25 to 35. So it's a small incremental fee. And another idea is a credit card fees. I know we're having the conversation with the brands today, but we've seen restaurants do it. We've seen gas stations. They've charged 2 or 3% on top, right? And we're finally that conversation of maybe we get that approval, and I'd like to continue that conversation with the brands. Second commitment is governance and accountability. I think for the past 2 or 3 years, our strategic plan hasn't been placed. And that's something that we need to have a vision, not only for our board, but also for the staff, right? And so when we have that strategic plan, now the executive board has one vision that we can provide the staff, and we have a couple of goals that we can go towards as well. And that'll be a huge, huge difference. The third commitment is advocacy. I've been part of the Texas Hotel Lodging Association, been a huge, huge help there. And on top of that, I've kind of pioneered the back of the house tours. Yes, it existed before, but I brought the transparency back to the back of the house tours, because now the Congress members need to earn their PAC checks in front of our membership, in front of their hotels, and they learn what the day-to-day operations are. And so that transparency comes back with with that, as well as advocacy side. The fourth commitment is unity. I think today is the best time to get unified, because it doesn't matter if you have an independent hotel or 5 to 6 or 20 Marriott or Hilton hotels. We know everyone's pockets are hurting. So why don't we all come together and we all face the challenges together? And so I think this is the perfect time to do that. Fifth commitment is diversification. Like MZ Uncle has said before, he's in car washes, he's in other businesses. So why don't we bring that into AAHOA too? I mean, a lot of our members are going to apartments, which is a similar business model, right, to extended stay and hotels. So let's bring that into AAHOA as well. And the sixth commitment is education. Why can't we provide AAHOA University? We have AAHOA Academy, but I think we go one step further with that, with AAHOA University, and provide certifications, webinars, and for example, it can be how to form a management company, how to better efficiently run your operations, things like that. Because if a member is empowered with education, they can do anything. Their ideas can run far, far away than more than any of us can. And so I think education is very, very powerful. So these are my 6 commitments. And I continue to say commitments because I want to provide the foundation of these commitments for the future generations, the future leaders of AAHOA, to elevate it to the next level. And to answer your other question, why am I running for AAHOA, right? For the AAHOA secretary position? Well, I think it's the time for the second generation, third generation to come in and provide that next level to AAHOA. There's so many success stories, not just the first generation, but now the second generation have created even REITs, have been more institutionalized. And I think we need to bring that back into AAHOA, because there's so much success stories out there that we're not providing to our other membership. And I think that's just a huge, huge opportunity we're missing out. And that can be something that we can provide in the future. And this, like I said, will be elevating AAHOA to the next level when we provide that institutional side of the business.
I love that. And MZ, I'm going to give you the mic in a second. I just want to say something for a second. I love all your points, Dhiren. And one of the points that talk to me the most, and I think that the audience is going to love and they agree with, is education. And again, MZ, obviously you agree with that. That's part of your plan as well. You want to educate people. And it's something that I found a little interesting when I entered the hotel world a few years ago. And not to simply plug myself, but I'll do it once I'm at it. But when I was talking to hotel owners about what I do, cost segregation, when you talk to apartment owners, 90% plus are aware. They're sometimes misconcepted about it. In the hotel world, it was maybe 50%. And I approached Laura Lee and I told her, let's roll out something bigger. And she's like, come down to Atlanta, we'll talk about it, which is in the works. But regardless if we're talking about cost seg, regardless if we're talking about some other business venture, something that helps out hotel owners keep more money in their pocket and really bring up their bottom line, right? Really make a lot more money. Like, let's educate, let's get people talking, let's get people interested. Then they buy more hotels and the hotel economy just keeps rolling. And I think that's something that has to be implemented really on a high level. And MZ, I'm going to ask you a question for a second. And this is not to challenge you at all. I'm curious to hear your take. I've been to the AAHOA Hype conferences. I think there's something special about the AAHOA Hype because they're putting like a stress on the second gen. You as a first generation hotel owner, and you have a tremendous amount of experience, and I respect that tremendously. What's your angle to tap in to the young hotel owners, to the new generation, and talk to them that you are still their guy? And Dhiren, we'll get to you as well, and I would love to see what you can do for the older generation hotel owner, where you can come in and help also. But what's your pitch to them, MZ?
Sure, that's a great question. Let me tell you what we should do. I told you at the beginning, I do have 4 kids. I know what why we're looking for too. I think is we have to like Dhiren was just saying education. Education is a key of our new generation too. And I do talk about university. I do my family do connected with university and back home in India. We built a college named CZ Patel. My brother named CZ Patel. His name, we built the college there. And we teach them hospitality from day one, from front desk to management position. We do treat them. Even we are adding revenue management, reputation management. Now we're teaching there. Travel agents, we do teach them. And we do have it. And our young professionals should know all our business industry, okay, what we are doing. We have to let them know what we, our grandparents and parents went through. We started from small hotel to go up. Let them keep their stories, should know them. They will help them out to go step one. We don't want to put them already to step 10 automatically, otherwise they'll be fall down. And like I was thinking we should teach them step one to go up and up and up. That's the only way will be they'll be success better. And that's why I with them. I will teach them each step what going up, because the way I did my son and my daughter, same way. I teach everything from hotel, my family value, and what we are. Because if the family value is lost, believe me or not, you cannot be success businessman. And that's why I'm telling you. And still, me and my brother still live in joint family because we have family value. And I want to teach new generation, not teach them. We have to that explain them how we can become, what benefit to do the family value. That's my goal. Means to family value is more important to a new generation to teach them.
Understood. I hear that. And Dhiren, it's a little complicated, obviously, because you have an older generation of hotel owners where, in a sense, they're happy where they're at, whether they own 1 hotel, 5 hotels, or 10 hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless if you're sitting there in the White House lobbying for AAHOA, and yeah, maybe they will make some more money. What's your pitch to the older generation? They should
Yeah,
go.
there's no pitch, right? They've done so much. They've provided a huge foundation for us for the second generation, right? They worked with their hands. They put their sweat into the properties. And so we don't want anything to get rid of that, right? That's number one. Because without them, we wouldn't have a foundation. But number two, I think it's more now to get into the asset management side of things, right? Get away from the day-to-day operations. You've done all that. Let's get into the higher operations and let you enjoy life, right? Kind of get that generational wealth, teach them the generational wealth of, hey, let your kids do this, maybe set up a trust fund, whatever it might be. But now they're in a different segment of their life that hard work, let them enjoy it, I believe. That's why I always told my parents, they provide the foundation for me, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But now that they've done so much of that hard work, you can asset manage. Yes, we're not taking you out of the business. We want you there day to day. We want your wisdom, because without that, you have that experience. We don't have that yet. And so with that experience, with our type of new institutional side of things, growing up with this education here in America, that would be a huge, huge plus. Asset management with the education side of things.
And I like that. And I like that private equity, I guess, angle and the institutional angle, because you have a diamond in the rough. And if it's leveraged properly, you can go ahead and make that into a beautiful, beautiful diamond. And there's been young hotel owners that have climbed the ladder pretty fast, obviously based on the foundation that the first gen has set for them. So I love that. I do want to ask a few specific questions, some for MZ, some for you, Dhiren. Just to approach a few topics. So, MZ, we'll start with you. You've been close.
Sure.
You talked about it earlier. I want to dive a little deeper in. You've been closely involved with the New Jersey Fair Franchising Bill. Can you share the current status of the bill and its likelihood of passing? And if elected, how do you envision AAHOA's role in supporting and advancing this type of legislation?
Sure, definitely. And New Jersey bill are still active there. We still are putting in we put in the assembly, now is in Senate. And now we'll be going to, this year will be, I think, more chances we can help from our government, because of the new governor came. We already talked with her, and she's a business viewpoint. She do understand our pain, okay, what we are going through. And I think there's more chances this year we will get successful. And we are still working on it to how, and New Jersey members, I want to thank them. They're supporting this bill because without their members, we cannot do that. Not a few people, we cannot do anything. And thank that again, the bill has the bill passed every hotel here, not only single hotel, not independent hotel, not franchise. Everyone should get benefit. And not only for this is the first step for New Jersey. But if I ever elected officer, I want to put 25 per state similar bill, New Jersey bill. Exactly, I do have everything planned. The 25 state, if we put out of 25, I can promise that 20 state, if we pass the bill, think about Brown will be wake up and going to say, now time to go talk with the AAHOA table. Because right now we are asking them to come on the table. They're not willing to come. If the bill passed, they will come to sit down and they will be work with us. That's my challenge with them.
Understood. And if you are elected, how do you envision AAHOA's role in supporting this type of legislation?
I think if I'm elected, I will be 100% supporting the bill because we need the right now. Member need this kind of bill to do that. One of the bill just recently passed in New Jersey, no pay, no stay. We just done very smoothly passed that bill. Same way, the bill happen with my all up. I just didn't just mention that we have to unite it first. First, have to unite it in the board. If united the board, we can do a lot of things for members, and then members will be trust on us. Right now, they lost trust on. I want to bring the trust back and review this bill, and definitely will be happen.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. I like that. And you think there's a big likelihood of this happening?
I'm sure my heart will tell you, and my members' support definitely will happen.
Beautiful. Okay. Dhiren, you've been actively involved, and you talked about it before, the Texas Hotel and Lodging Association. And Texas, like you mentioned something that you're the regional director for one of the largest regions in the AAHOA world, which is incredible. I know myself, more work in Texas, I believe, than any other state. And the amount of hoteliers that there are in Texas is just incredible. Sometimes they even ask them, like, how does the situation on the ground support that many hotels? You know what I mean? We got to make sure that the occupancy is up, but haven't got a good answer for that. But you've been actively involved in the Texas Hotel and Lodging Association. How long have you served? What has been the success rate of legislation in your state? If elected, how would you continue to expand this involvement at the state level?
Yeah, so I've been on the board for the 6 years now, ever since COVID, and the membership loves THLA. I mean, they've been supportive of AAHOA, and they've been supportive of every local issues that we have been facing as well. Starting from COVID with ARP funds and moving forward to no pay, no stay, like MZ Uncle had said that they had done in their state as well. And so the success rate that we had is 100%. That's unheard of, right? 100%. So that means every bill that we wanted to pass, such as making Airbnb illegal in certain cities and counties, we've passed. Every bill that we wanted to kill, such as property tax increases, we've killed. And so I want to bring that experience, right, to AAHOA, to the federal side of things, even to the state side of things. And to go to your other question, state partnerships are massive, right? We go to the Capitol Hill every 2 years because that's when Texas legislators meets, is every 2 years. We collaboratively come together from all over the state and discuss what needs to be done. And next year in February, we will be discussing no pay, no stay and try to get that over the hump. And of course, any other tax increases that try to come in to our business model as well. But I think a collaborative effort and having that strategic partnership with the states is a huge plus. And we've done that in the past. We've done it with California, with Texas, and other states as well. And it's been a huge success.
What's mind-boggling to me is when it comes to general elections in regular politics, voting for a senator, a president, a lot of people are of the opinion that it doesn't really matter. It's more, whatever happens, my life will go on. But here, for a standard hotel owner that owns 3 hotels in Houston, Texas, or in Philly or in Jersey, in Delaware, and they either elect you or they elect MZ, you both will do a great job. But at the same time, it's so important to know that it really hits their bottom line. Property taxes, really everything on a daily basis. They can make a few $100,000 more, millions of dollars more based on what the results turn into. And what's shocking to me is that if I would guess, I'm assuming that there's many AAHOA members out there that do not vote, not because they don't want to, just because, I don't know, whatever happens, happens. I'm too lazy to go ahead and stand in line or spend 5 minutes online. I have another question for you, and we'll start with Dhiren, but I'm curious to hear both of your takes quickly. Like, what's your pitch on this podcast? Because people are going to be watching it to go out and vote. Dhiren, I'll start with you.
Yeah, no, every voice needs to be heard. That's why we moved this to online, right? We understand that sometimes the men, the woman, whatever it might be, have to come back, stay back, and not go to convention, right? So we made this opportunity for everyone to have their voice heard. And so having that, everyone needs to vote. That is your voice. If you see a trajectory of where AAHOA is going, that's because a vote is not given, and you cannot blame anyone but yourself, the membership, right? Number one responsibility for the membership is to have your voice heard, and then the second responsibility is to hold the board, hold the officers accountable. That's number two. These are the two huge steps for the membership, and once that is done, once they elect the right candidates, then you can see an upward trajectory of AAHOA. It has to be consistent as well, and so I think voting is a huge power, is a huge right of your power, the membership. And like I said, or like you had said, Isaac, it only takes about 2 minutes, right? Once you're verified, you just go there April 9th, click the names you want to select as your candidates, and submit. It's not too hard. And hopefully your voice gets heard in the future.
Got it. And MZ, what's your take on voting as a whole? Do you like the online voting? Would you rather in person? Give us your take.
See, I can tell you that online voting is great too, but also the personal voting, I'll tell you why more important. Because if you recently, if you agree with me, like you see the vendor, we have turnout less, and we're losing vendor. And AAHOA is the AAHOA platform. We need financing also support too. If you think about, and also when our member will go to vendor, they will get some deals, and they will get better the ROI will get better because they will be talked to them. They will get the vendor price. Also, like if they have brand there, they can talk about a brand and make a deal with them. Like if you're looking for last 10 years ago, or last highest ever deal happened at HoaCon. Now we just stop there. A lot of people not coming there HoaCon to any deal because the brand is not there supporting because of New Jersey bill. They realize that because online voting is there, people they don't need to be there, and that's what less turnout. I think the members should be think about. We should be to let go to help our vendors because a lot of I talking to human Chase example. I was talking Chase a few weeks ago. He telling the food traffic is so low, and he's going to hurting their business also. Another thing with the hurting Chase, it's a big company hurting them. What think about small vendor? They will be hurt really bad too. And I think I will be favor of the people should come personally. I understand people don't want to stand the line. We can maybe make the thing and phone within 5 mile radius. They will be allowed to vote there, and they can vote on the 5 mile radius. Then they don't have to stand line. They can vote online too. Like, this will be better. But I would think in future for our members should be trust on us. Okay, this is a vendor, we losing vendor, and then if vendor is not there, believe me not, our HOA's financing we have issue will be there. And I was thinking we should support the both way, online and personal voting should be there for some older people. The older people think about that electronic online voting that's great, but on the other end, we have trained a technology effect. The older people not have technology knowledge. That's what will be a lot of people not voting because of that also. And I'll tell you, if people are remember me, I urge everyone should vote and choose the right candidate. Because if you don't choose the right candidate, then later on you will think, oh, that's not right person. Now we have to think about right candidate. Think about who can do work for you. Think about what is his backstory, what he done in past. Think all this thing before you vote. What is the make different tomorrow's future? If you not think right candidate for you, then is don't vote and think about twice before you vote. I'm telling each member, think about your valuable vote. will go to the right person. Thank you.
Understood. I have a follow-up question for you.
Yes, sir.
So right when I started the podcast, like Dhiren had come on, a light bulb hit in my brain. And I'm a very, very fear type of guy. At the end of the day, you're playing on home court right now, MZ, because the convention is in Philly. And this is your area. And my take, and I guess I'm an outsider. I like to say I understand what's going on, but I'm too new to really get into the crux of it, right? So I'm no allegiance over here. I'm asking a fear question over here. First of all, number one question is that online voting, you're just showing your voice. I don't think you're going to pick the wrong one. I don't see why the in-person thing would change. But number two, being in Philly gives you if voting was in person, it gives you an edge because you're going to have more local people that know you than potentially know Dhiren versus if it was in Texas. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, that will be happen. I can tell you that. But let me tell you that 10 years ago, there was work perfectly too. And I'm not saying stop that online. I just told you that 70, 80 people, that what the issue was before when electronic was started. Older people couldn't travel that much. We can do the voting for them. But think about the people who example, let's say my daughter, Dhiren is, people, this should be come there and see what our vendor program, what we are doing. Think if you don't want to be less attendee, will become there online. I do understand the online voting for better for the older people who couldn't traveling and they don't want to be out of the 4 days. But the thing about the new generation should go there or more like not only younger, like I'm talking about 50 plus people should also go there and help our industry. Otherwise, if not AAHOA Con is not there, if people are not there, doesn't look that many, like look we look at other conference, hunters and all that. How many people are there and they're paying so much fees and still they're going there. And we don't want to get AAHOA going, attendee go down. That's what my goal was, that attendee will, and realize that attendee will be there, then our association more value will be there. Because when people think, oh, they have told 8,000 people was there, that will be, our industry will think, oh, let's go support their industry. Let's go to work with them. Our politician will be like that too. Number of people will be more there too. I'm not just saying it because of the election purpose. I'm not forget about election purpose. We have to think about business. Election is one part of the business. We don't want to target election only. Let's think about business viewpoint too. What will happen our vendors? What will happen our networking? We are like example. I was a Dhiren father, Ketan. I know him so long. How we met? How we met each other? From the AAHOA. If AAHOA is not there and we do online, how are we going to meet each other? How we can do business together? This will be. I'm saying that's why we can have partnership will come more stronger if we can meet each other. That's my goal was.
Understood.
Can I counter
I hear
real quick?
Dhiren. Take
Yes,
it away.
yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So he brought up, MZ Uncle brought up Hunter and lodging as well, right? So many of the second generation go there. Why is that?
Yep.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
These guys go there and pay so much. We need to start understanding quality versus quantity. Quantity does not mean you're having a quality AAHOA Con. So I think online votes is not the reason why people aren't coming.
Right.
I think being this freebie, getting that out, right? The lifetime, yes, it was a benefit, but I think it's time that we need to provide quality compared to quantity. And sometimes even the vendors say the same thing. I've talked to a couple of them. They said out of the 5,000 that used to come, not many leads came out of it. Last year, New Orleans, compared to the 3,000 people that came, they've actually got more leads out of it because the people that are coming now actually want to do business. They're actually paying the fee and they want to do the business. So I don't think online voting is bad. Maybe a hybrid model would work because I do understand that the older generation has a technology issue. But I don't think it's solely based on online voting of the quantity. And like I said, I think we need to change our mindset of quantity is success. I don't think so. I think quality is success. And that's why Hunter and lodging are so successful. And that's why so many of the young generation go there because business gets done there compared to right now, AAHOA Con, they don't see that business. They don't see that value compared to those two conferences.
Funny that you're saying that because I was talking to somebody and they told me that, yeah, AAHOA Con is just everybody comes, brings their family and has a lot of fun. When it gets to Hunter, lodging and other things, NYU, business gets done. And I like that angle that you're bringing, Dhiren. It's like, no, we could have a lot of fun over here, but like, let's do some business. Let's make it serious. Let's make it one of the most important conferences of the year, and don't leave it just to Hunter for everybody to have their real conversations. You make some good points. I do want to get to a few more things, and we'll circle back to a few things afterwards. Dhiren, I have a question for you. Brands often highlight, and we could talk about this for hours, but we do have to cut it off at a certain point. Brands often highlight annual RevPAR growth as an indicator of industry strength. Do you agree that this is an accurate measure? If not, what alternative metrics would you prioritize to better access overall performance?
No, so RevPAR is just one metric, right? I mean, there's so many other metrics that you can use from the STR report, but we need to do a better job of sharing the true picture of the profitability with the brands and to Wall Street, right? So why can't we use metrics like GoPAR and things like that? Because GoPAR uses all the expenses and all the revenue. It goes off the growth, the GOP. And so I do believe that there are other metrics that makes this a success that we can provide of a truer picture to the Wall Street, to the brands as well, what we're actually facing with on a day-to-day operation.
Very cool. And MZ, what's your take on the RevPAR growth question?
Sure. I think RevPAR is also important for our industry. But remember that right now, a lot of people lost. The better ROI is a loss. It is a main job for our industry. Brands should understand that we are losing ROI every day. And how we can increase ROI is a thing we get to sit down with the brand and talk about, explain by item, okay, this is what's happening. And there should be, and then the brand should understand, okay, what our pain going through this industry right now.
I hear you. I hear you. Wow. So the hotel world is so vast. And there's so, especially to an outsider, it's simply incredible what actually transpires on a day-to-day basis. And just again, as an outsider, it's just tremendous. And by the way, even for hotel owners themselves, like it's really, really endless. And believe it or not, I know 60 to 70% of at least limited service and select service hotels are dominated by the Indian world, but there's Jews getting involved in the hotel world. There's regular guys getting involved in the hotel world, and they don't know this talk. And being a part of an association like yourself, and I don't think you guys are limited to specifically, I think if Jew wanted to become part of it, I think you guys would open your hands to him, and we would benefit from what you guys are doing on our behalf, and it doesn't even cost a lot of money. So first of all, thank you. But I just want to summarize and really last comments over here. What I'm hearing, and again, from a totally objective view, and it doesn't make one candidate here better than the other. MZ, what I'm hearing from you is a genuine interest to help the next person, experience. You've been around for a long time. You feel like you have what it takes to really bring it up a notch. You feel like your experience in the franchise world, your experience in ownership, your experience with so many of the first-gen hotel owners, as well as young hotel owners and your kids, which opened up a whole new world for you, gives you an edge to go ahead and actually change things. What I hear from Dhiren is, honestly, it brings me back to the Obama days when he was running. Is like, we need to change something. If it's not now, the trajectory of AAHOA is going a certain way, which is not simply bad, but it's more status quo. And it's just been going a certain way for a while, and we're never going to really change. And people in the young blood have a tremendous energy in them to really take things, like you said, private equity, institutionalize things, really lobbying in a real way, having real conversations with the real people. Like, I feel like, Dhiren, you're bringing that, like, I want to change things. And if it doesn't change now, it's just going to go into oblivion, and we're never going to be able, it's just going to be so much harder to change it in 10 years from now. And I'd love to hear from both of you a few minutes, like your comments on that. And I also want to hear, I've heard this by many in-person panels. I would love to hear MZ to Dhiren something that you truly appreciate about what Dhiren's bringing to the table, and Dhiren about MZ, what you appreciate what MZ's bringing to the table. So MZ, we'll start with you, and then we'll get to Dhiren.
Okay. I got a couple of things, two things I want to talk about really bad. The brand, we did talk about so much about brand, but the thing we are missing here, OTA also. OTA is one of the key, the member herding also. What do I bring in the table for OTA? That's the question I'm asking. OTA, I don't know if you guys remember, the Asian country is the biggest OTA is, not Expedia, not Booking.com. Do you know who's that? Make My Trip, the number one OTA in Asia. And Asian is the highest rooms a night they're selling it. What I was talking to Make My Trip, I did with the talk with them. I meet them 7 times in my visit with them in Delhi. Finally, I do agree with them. They will become USA for us, only for us, AAHOA's members. Strictly AAHOA's member will get better deal, better prices for them to compare to Expedia and Booking.com, and they'll bring it more revenue for them. That's why we'll get better ROI for and NY for our member, and that's what I'm bringing tables, and that will be happen as soon as I will starting on the secretary role. The day one, I'm not going to waste any time for anybody. I'm going to start day one. Doesn't matter happening my press chairmanship. I don't care. I just want to make sure will happen for help our members. And I want to help members. That's only bottom line. That's only per member and only per member. Thank you.
Beautiful. And Dhiren?
Yeah, no, I would like to echo. I think we're both here to help the membership. We both aren't here to increase our portfolio, to get a job after this or any of that, right? We genuinely care about helping the people that don't have the position that we have, right? I'm definitely lucky that I can go to Marriott and get a Marriott, right? We have that relationship with Hilton. We had that relationship. Many people don't have that. And I think that's what made AAHOA a one-stop shop in the past, right? We need to bring that back again. When can you go as a Wyndham owner and speak to a Marriott next door? That's unheard of, right? I mean, even at lodging or Hunter, yeah, they're there, but they're not going to give you the time of day, right? Because they're usually upstairs in the meeting room. So it's a bit different at AAHOA, where it's kind of a one-stop shop where I can go speak to the brands, I can speak to some FF&E procurement centers, I can speak to accounting systems. I mean, that's where the value comes in, and we got to bring that back. Number one, and number two, I think bringing in that fresh new blood of the second generation, we definitely have that drive. We want to get involved in AAHOA. It's just we don't want to deal with a lot of the back end things as well, right? And that's my goal. Try to clean the culture up, provide new, fresh ideas to the leadership, and have that change where we get membership engagement back, right? Because once we get membership engagement back, then everything's rocking and rolling. We don't have to go back and try to go to our town halls, and people will be flocking to our town halls. People will be flocking for PAC funds, right? People will be flocking to join AAHOA as well. And so I think it's all about providing something that is in the industry, right? Providing change in the industry for the better of the membership. And that's all I'm here for. And of course, I want to drive AAHOA to the next level with the institutional side, because that's where the new generation is going towards.
You see a diamond in the rough. You see something that has the potential to reach the sky, and it's really being capped, and you feel like you're the guy that could come in and turn things around. And MZ, I'm curious to ask you as we end the show, like, again, I feel from Dhiren, he's making a case where there's an establishment to a certain extent. Things have been a certain way for a long time, and he wants to come in and spice things up. You put together your plan, and you have a great plan, and you're going to work hard if elected. But do you think that's still within the establishment, or you're really bringing your own twist to the table as well, different than what it's been the past 15, 20 years as well?
Sure, it does. I definitely do. Only reason is, remember, I grew up from nothing to up to millions of dollar company. We learn something for day to day, and I started working for hard job. It's not happen overnight. It's all experience and timing and thing. I want to all my sharing my experience of what I did in my life. That would be, I want to just put it there, because only reason I do have time, and I will be always keep telling, because any association you run, you require time. Time is more important. The second thing is more important, experience. I do have both, and we put together. Will be helping our members. Our member lost trust on us. I want to put the time and effort to bring that trust back. And that thing, before we could do anything, our member is, every time you ask the member, is why do I want to go AAHOA? That's what the question. You guys not doing anything for us. I want to bring that trust back first. Before we do anything else, let's bring the trust back. and then will be member, will be trusting us. Then we can do a lot of other things. Automatically, we can work with the brand, whatever we can work with the government, and we can do much better together.
Beautiful. MZ, if Dhiren's elected, do you think he's going to do a great job?
100%. He's just like my son.
Dhiren, if MZ's elected, is he going to do a good job?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
But you see an opportunity here that people haven't been talking about. You could change AAHOA. And MZ, you're bringing what you're bringing to the table. You feel like you could really bring a lot to the table as well. And I think both of you guys are fabulous candidates. I'm so happy we're able to really converse and let the crowd know exactly who we are, what we're doing. Obviously, everybody knows you, but again, in a more intimate way, this is what I'm doing. No, really pull the shades back. You're getting what you see. And I'm not going to just get elected and just do nothing and twiddle my thumbs for 5 years. Incredible, guys. Thank you very, very much for coming on today. I wish you nothing but the best, and may the right man win. And obviously, with true respect, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to such a fabulous episode. This was just an incredible conversation between two candidates, really making their case in what they think they can bring. Tremendous respect between the two. And either way, we'll be good to go. But each one making a case of what they could go ahead and do and bring AAHOA up a notch. Dhiren, again, with the change pitch. And he's done it. He's done it in Texas. He's really, really changed things around there. MZ has done some tremendous things as well. And go out there and vote. Go out there and vote, because this is important. This is important to have the right candidate in office to go ahead and help you save yourself a lot of money and really lobby on your behalf. You can watch us on all platforms. Tune in for all future episodes. You can watch past episodes on all major platforms: Spotify, Apple, Podbean, YouTube. And let's talk. Let's talk COSAG. Let's talk podcast. See you on the next one.